Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia, and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour, 30.
It is the 15th day of May 2023. My name is MC Kalia. This is the Morning Glory Show, the Monday briefing edition. Welcome to this particular show. Of course, if you're already tuned in, let me know where you're tuned in from, and let's have this particular conversation. Today, we're hosting the governor of Elgeyo Marakwet just to share with us his plans for Elgeyo Marakwet for the next 5 years. But then as we continue to do that, also remember to ask your questions. If you have any questions to ask our governor today, this is an opportunity to do so. And so if you have a friend who is not watching, tell a friend that there is a very beautiful conversation happening on the Morning Glory Show today, and they are supposed to watch it. Before we go to introduce, or rather to give our governor a chance to say hi, I just want to remind you that we are coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography is situated in Eldoret Zanmore Basement A. Anytime you need anything that goes into video and photo production, consider working with Dawi Afric Photography. If you need to dress to be addressed, consider walking into D Square Fashion House. If you need to learn fashion as a career, if you need to take up fashion as a career, consider walking into D Square School of Fashion Design and Tailoring. Both D Square School of Fashion Design and Tailoring and the fashion house are situated at the 4th floor of Ketia's building in Eldoret CBD. That means that immediately you exit the school, you have an opportunity of getting into the fashion house and learning from the best. So consider today walking into D Square School of Fashion Design. So as I mentioned earlier, we have with us today His Excellency Wisley Rotich. He is the governor of Elgeyo Marakwet, but then beyond that, he also has a role in the Council of Governors, and he'll also be talking about that a little bit. But then this particular time, allow me to give him a chance to say hi to you. Karibu sana, Governor.
Thank you very much, MC Kalia. I want to take this opportunity to greet all the viewers and all the listeners, and also to congratulate Dawi for the good work you are doing and being a trailblazer or an inspiration to the young people on what we should actually, on content creation and on using social media and the internet gainfully, which has actually been a nightmare to actually teach our young people that you can turn around the same social media that you always have on your phone, the internet that you usually, the bundles that you usually have. It is a way of trying to tell them that it's possible to turn it around and monetize and use it for to inform the community, to transform the community. So I must congratulate all of you and say I'm privileged to be here this morning to actually interact with our people and to of course talk about Elgeyo Marakwet County, where I lead as the governor for the last few months. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, and of course thank you also for making time to be with us this particular morning. We understand it's a chilly morning, and actually Governor was here before time, so thank you so much. And many people will ask the question, of course, you've risen ranks. There was a time you were director, then you went to be the deputy governor, and as if it is a promotion, you're now the governor, yet it is a mandate that you must go to the people to seek. What is the secret, Governor?
I don't want to say that there is a formula. In life, there is no formula. I would want to say that actually I've been in the private, I've been doing private business before. I went to be a budget officer at KWS when I was just immediately after school. And then I went to be a banker for quite some time at Equity Bank. When I left the bank, I came to the county as a director of cooperatives for a year. And then in 2017, I actually became the deputy governor. And after that, I actually sought the mandate of the people to actually run for governor. I would say that what has only kept me has been resilience, and of course I have a motto of keep going, keep moving. However hard it is, just make a step. Even if you are crawling, I read a book, one of the writers would say, just keep going. Even if you are crawling, so long as you're moving, just make sure you're consistent and actually keep your eye on the goal. You don't have to be distracted. There are so many challenges that come along the way. I would tell you, it may look easy that I'm here as governor today, but I tell you, I went through a lot. Sometimes you almost want to give up, but it's because by the grace of God is that I'm here. But I just want to tell you, there is no formula in life. The only thing is just be resilient and keep going. And of course, and I'm an early riser. Maybe the only thing that I would say is that I'm an early riser. By 4 a.m., 5 a.m., I'm reading the national newspapers. I'm reading my articles. Sometimes I write articles in the newspapers. I can do them at night. So I'm an early riser. Probably that could be something, because if you're an early riser, it means that you can do a lot before I start engaging with my people. I can do a lot between 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. up to 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. When I do that, I can be able to actually cover a huge number of issues before I start engaging the public, probably from 7 a.m. or from 8 a.m. So, and I'm always early in the office, and probably that is, it makes me do a lot in a day, and even an hour. I do a lot in a day because I've realized that time is of essence, and probably that could be another secret that after I change. It's not something that I had before. It's something that I learned over time. Because after reading books, and I'm a good reader, I read a lot of books, and also I learn from, of course, most effective people, most successful people. What I learned about them is time management and also being an early riser. There is something they usually call the 5 a.m. club. I can't lie to you. Anyone who has made it in life, don't ever imagine, including our president, don't ever imagine that they've been sleeping, they've been just waking up the way they want. There is high chance that they belong to the 5 a.m. club. I found you here to this morning. You, as a young man, you have an option of sleeping up to 10 a.m. or 8 a.m. But because you are committed to your work and because you are in a unique environment, it is that is what is making you now different from anyone else. Is the reason why Dawi is here and not someone else doing this. It's because of hard work and the time that you are putting it, and of course sacrificing. So especially as young people like ourselves, you have to sacrifice a lot to be where you are, because you are in an age where you are supposed to be enjoying life. At the same time, you are supposed to be doing a lot for yourself to stabilize, to set up a family, to set up a business, to set up a career. If you mix all those things, many people would want to go the easier route, and the easier route is you enjoy your youth to the fullest. I'm not saying you don't have to enjoy, but at least you balance the time. If you balance your time so well, you can easily do a lot at the same time. There will be someone who will tell me why I don't have something to do, but I will tell you that in my county as Elgeyo Marakwet, we have a lot of opportunities that our young people can engage into, that have also started. For example, if you want to do now a TVET course, you want to do to get a skill, we have partnered with KCB to give free scholarships to our young people. We have others being paid for by the county. We have our VTC colleges that are cheap now. We have business trainings that we are partnering with banks to train you on now entrepreneurship. We have cash crops we are running massively. We have dairy farming that is ongoing. So for our young people, it is only you to choose. They may not be as good as the white collar jobs that we are waiting for, but as you wait for a white collar job, you don't have to stay and relax. So I would say that me as governor, I would credit this to God first of all, and secondly to resilience and probably timekeeping. And of course I had to shed a lot of bad behaviors, or what do you say, unnecessary things. I had to sacrifice actually so many things that I used to enjoy. I had to leave a lot of things for me to actually, things that used to keep me or probably hold me back. I had to cut them off. It's not easy, but you cut them off so that you move quickly. So I may not actually say it is by me. Of course, it's God, and secondly, the people of Elgeyo Marakwet County who have actually kept uplifting me all those years. And the only reward I would want to give them is to serve them diligently and to serve them with all my energy and with all my wisdom that God has given me, so that we can be able to take them from one step to the other.
Okay, thank you so much for that. To serve them, of course, faithfully and with all the energies that you can get. Remember, this particular morning we are hosting His Excellency Wesley Rotich. He is the governor for Elgeyo Marakwet County, and today is just sharing with us what he has in stock for the county for the next 5 years. This is the Morning Glory Show. Of course, if you're already in, let me know where you are tuned in from. Lamek K. Maisa is following from Kipkorgot. Ask Honorable Wesley, what's the plan does he have for PWDs in his county? Of course, we'll be going into such questions later. There is also Dennis Roop says he's tuned in from Action. Kathy Comment from Elgeyo Marakwet. Beb Chicago, thank you so much for making time. There is Arapuria says he's tuned in from Elgeyo Marakwet County. Thank you so much for creating time to be with us and help us share the broadcast to reach as many people as possible. And Governor, of course, another question that will come in even before the success that we've experienced today, people would know that this came from a very long time. Maybe I may not want you to give a very very exclusive background of yourself. But then, how was it for you growing up? Where were you born, and how was life for you in early ages?
Thank you very much, MC. I was born and brought up in a place called Chegilet, sublocation Kilawi village. That is in Kenya North, in the Kerio Valley side. So I grew up there. I went to school in Chegilet Primary, and at some point we were distracted by the cattle rustling or the clashes of the 1990s. Then we had to move to the higher ground of just within our home. There is a place called Kapchelal there, so I went to school in Kapchelal briefly and Kipiegor Primary, and later to Mindililo Primary for a year. And I went back to Chegilet to finish my standard 8. Then I proceeded to Tenges Boys High School in Baringo, where I actually became one of the best students there. And later I was supposed to do engineering because I was qualifying, because I had scored an A that time. So I went to, there was something called Joint Admissions Board, which actually we stayed at home for 2 years and then you had to go to the university. So they actually selected me for business course, Bachelor of, I think, JQuat, Bachelor of Commerce. And I was not really into going into business course. I really still wanted to go to engineering. So what I did something called inter-university transfer, which was very difficult that time. So I tried to apply for inter-university transfer. I finally succeeded to get inter-university transfer to Moi University with the intention to get an engineering course, that I will go to the engineering school where I have been. When I go to Moi University, it became even more difficult for me to get to engineering because it was already full. And I think they had a class, they had a number that they were supposed to do it. So when I realized that there was no, I just stepped into economics class. I just wanted where I could do some mathematics because I was a good mathematician. I just stepped into an economics class and said, this is where I will be. So that's how I became an economist. Not by, I dreamt to be an engineer also.
So yours is by design?
Yeah, I just found myself in economics class and it became a passion to me. And probably I would not be a better governor if I would not be this kind of a governor if I had not done economics. So at some point I really appreciate that I did it. So I went to economics class, finished economics. Also after finishing, I became a budget officer at Kenya Wildlife Service, later to the bank, and later to all these others. But I would want to say that I will say about my life in Chegilet. I'm sure you know that it's one of the harshest place in Elgeyo Marakwet in terms of, it's a place where water is a big issue. It's a place where also rainfall, chances of crop failure is very high. Rainfall is not reliable. And the clashes, every one of us started life afresh after the 2000s, because in the 90s the clashes, just like what is happening now in Marakwet East, happened to us even in my home. And so many people got frustrated, so many people dropped out of school, so many people committed suicide because they had a lot of animals, and all of a sudden they were taken away from them. People became frustrated, others got depressed and died. Other children from humble background like us dropped. It's only that my father he was not a learned person. He's late now. He was not a learned person, but he kept on pushing us to go to school. So with that, I can credit also that with my parents, people were not going to school, but they had understood the value of going to school because he had actually schooled his own siblings before, and he was actually passionate about us going to school, and not us alone. He was actually passionate in the entire place. He used to go from primary school to the other, secondary to the other, talking to children, talking to parents, telling them the importance of going to school. So I would also say, if I had not gone to school, then I would not be here. I would just be in the Kerio Valley doing other things. But I had passion to transform the community from day one. And I will give you an example of after the clashes, everything had been swiped off. So we started afresh. I remember going to take some around 4 sheep from a place known as Chebiemit and taking them down from one of our relatives, and one male sheep. So they were around 5, going to start afresh. But when I went home, we realized that there are some few animals which had remained from the clashes, and the quality of the breed was not so good. So as a young man that time, I started by castrating the animals, my neighbors' bulls, unknowingly, because I wanted them to get a better breed. So I usually wanted to transform my community even from a young age. So what I did is that I used to have there is a rubber which is used to castrate. So you can just tie it on the animal, and then it castrates slowly without unknowingly. So then neighbors realized that all the bad breeds had been castrated, but all of a sudden there is a better breed coming up. So they appreciated. They got mad, but appreciated later. And another thing that probably I did is that I started even a circle. When I became the director of cooperative, I started a circle back home there. I started a secondary school for my people because they were going for long distances to get a school, and I wanted to have a local secondary school. I did it in a record time, and numbers shot from around the first time when we were starting 60 up to 500 students when I left as the chairperson of the school. And most of the time I have actually been passionate about transforming the lives of our people in the community. I have been doing a lot of outreaches, talking to young people, and I think that has actually been some of the things that I've been doing. But my passion came by when I wanted to transform the people economically, because I realized even young children and even young people who want to make it in life, they have a limitation, economic limitation. Someone wants to be something in life, but they don't have the money. So what I decided is that in a county where we have almost 42% people below poverty, almost 190,000 people below poverty line. Poverty line means they live on less than $1 in a day. They earn less than $1 in a day. Then that became my passion. So when I was the director of cooperatives, I was pushing people to be in dairy, pushing people to be in cash crops, pushing people to have good circles in the villages so that they get cheap loans and lend to themselves so that they can pool resources and do a lot of things. So that one I did in a record 1 year to reform a lot of things. Very strict. I became very strict, and I reformed so many things at that time. So my passion, even to be a leader, wasn't much because of I wanted to be an elected leader. I just wanted to transform. I just wanted to leave a mark, and I left a mark in 1 year as a director of cooperatives. It just came as a by the way that the current governor then realized that I was doing some good things, and he thought, why don't I come and run with him in 2017 as a deputy governor. So it wasn't in my mind that I would be an elected leader at that time. I was just doing my work, and in the process people saw it. It's something that I need also to tell my fellow young people, that when you do something good, it will never go unnoticed, especially in the current world where people have almost lost hope in many things. When you stand out in whatever you do, however small, even if you start a nursery, a tree nursery, and you do it so well, everyone will know you. Even the president will know you. Everyone will know you, and you can easily be identified. I will give you so many examples of people which we have known. There is even a young man in Cameroon in Keyo North. He has been very passionate. All of a sudden, I just took him to be our environmental committee, county environment committee, because of his passion. So many. When you do something so well, don't do something like you are halfway. You are not sure what you are doing. When you do something, concentrate on it and do it so nicely, so that until people see you, you can only be noticed. The only way that you can be noticed is through success. Even me as governor, no one would know me as a governor. I don't have to go now to advertise myself as a governor. What I do is that I just work in the village. I just work for my people. I just do things wholeheartedly for my people. And eventually, the whole world will just know. They will just see what you are doing. So I want to also say, what I have learned over time is that you don't have to struggle. Just do your work and do it so well, and people will realize. So I would say I grew up in a family of 11 people, and I was the fourth born. and of course with so many challenges. That time, all of us in school, my father struggling, but I would want to say that my father had very good friends because of his motivational speeches that used to motivate children, motivate parents, and I think he earned a lot of friends along the way. So because of those friends is how they used to help him. They used to contribute for us. They used to get us. Some others can donate. They can help us. That's how we got here, and that's why you see me. I actually school a lot of young children from very humble backgrounds as a way of giving back. I understand how a child who has a lot of energy, a lot of intellect, can actually waste away because of lack of resources to take them to school. So anytime they report anything on me, even when I don't have the money, I always mobilize my friends. I always talk to my friends. I have also learned a way of talking to my friends. Instead of someone telling me, yeah, Governor, how are you doing? I want to treat you for something. I tell them, guys, I have a small child who is supposed to go to secondary school, and I have just been told that if instead of even treating me for something, you can treat me for coffee, and then you can be able to pay for that child. So I have tried to even, and I have seen some of my friends have already accepted that line, and the others are paying and keep calling me and asking me, is there any other child I can pay for?
And
So
haven't
even-
you lost some of the friends because of maybe telling them that?
No. I don't tell them. I don't. Of course, you don't tell every friend. There are those friends you've been very close to, and they have no problem. There are those friends who transcend material. There are those friends who they stick with you. They have no problem, and they also understand. There are friends who understand that there are other children who are struggling. In Elgeyo Marakwet also, we have professionals who are very, very helpful, especially so long as you give a genuine case. We have an habit of actually contributing to any needy case, and I think I have led by example myself as governor. What I can, I actually do it myself, so that when there is an time when I don't have, then the professionals also can be able to take up that issue. So I have been doing that until a level. Some of the professionals call me and say, Governor, no, you don't have to do this. We can do it for you. So we have so many helpful people outside there. We have so many good people outside. The only thing is, sometimes it's misused. That someone who is even well off would want to be helped at the expense of a needy one. That's what even puts off some of our people. Someone says, yes, I wanted to help, but why is it that you want to bring someone who is well off to be helped? So people want genuine cases. People want good cases that they can be able to do it. So I have seen many of our professionals actually support, and I am now starting to bring our professionals together. We have had meetings with them. We have had a program where we call it Adopt a School, Adopt a Village, where a professional can adopt a school and continue helping them. We have a few of them who have adopted. We have a few of them also who have accepted to be chairmen of boards, sit in boards of primary schools and secondary schools. We have some of them who have started transforming. And I'll give you a case in point. My friend who is the chair of Kimuron Boys is a good friend of mine and is in the media fraternity. What he has done is that he has made the place an center of excellence in athletics. And Kimuron Boys now, just with a mere simple passion for the school and giving back to community, he has brought a school which was nowhere. People had forgotten about it. People even didn't want to take children there. He's telling me he has a lot of demand now for people who want to join Kimuron Boys High School because of the passion of that guy, the board, and also the teachers who are there, who just transformed. So it shows that if we all like something and you do it with all your heart, it can be able to be good. I will tell you, even when I was the board chair of the school, people said, I want to go to the school because I know the chairman, and the chairman is very passionate about transforming the lives of the people. The same way to my hospital now. If you go to a hospital in Iten, everyone says, I want to go to that hospital because that governor looks like he has done his hospital nicely. I want to go to the health. In fact, I have a problem. The last few weeks, drugs are being depleted in all our facilities very fast because we have been consistent. Since I became governor, all facilities are actually having drugs now. because I have put in place measures to ensure that there is continuous. The result has been our neighbors are actually coming from all the other neighboring counties for treatment in our county. That has brought us problems because it depletes all our supplies very quickly. Yet you cannot refuse to offer service, medical attention to anyone. You cannot discriminate by place of where someone comes from. So those are some of the things that when you do things out of goodwill, out of good heart, out of good intentions, you somehow, there is a magic in that. There is a magic, and I have experienced it, that when you do anything, even when you don't foresee, challenges will come, but somehow God has a way of helping you maneuver those challenges because you are passionate about something. But with resilience, you make a mistake today, you repeat again tomorrow, and the third day you make it. So that is what I want to request, that even our young people, my colleagues, and even parents, everyone, when you fail once, it does not mean that you are dead. Pick up and also move. Don't allow yourself, don't get frustrated. I know challenges in Kenya now, financial, economic. Please, if it worst comes to the worst, visit even some of our offices, change completely what you are doing. If you've been doing something that is not working, come and ask, what are some of the opportunities that I can venture into? As we are looking for jobs, you can always get to do something that can occupy you. Meanwhile, food is becoming very rare in the entire world now. If you produce food only, you are already automatically going to get market for it. So there are so many opportunities that are outside there, in terms of, not directly in terms of jobs, but directly in terms of alternative ways, in terms of doing business, to doing farming. Meanwhile, as you wait to be absorbed in the formal sector, because if you say I am just waiting, it becomes very difficult. A case in example is this Dawi. Dawi is just an example of how you can get up from zero and become an employer, and you become an inspiration to the young people. Dawi just started like I was just seeing you people having some small cameras here, coming to functions, and all of a sudden you guys are the biggest company in town in terms of in this sector. So it shows that you can start small. It is difficult, it is not easy. It is easier to be employed by someone, but if you start small, you can grow and become an employer. On Saturday, I was opening a big hardware in Iten, which is owned purely by someone from Elgeyo Marakwet, whom I know. Someone, we are friends together. He just started small in Iten there, small hardware. We was just selling some small electronics, the basic ones, bulbs, wires, simple things. But yesterday, on Saturday, we were opening a big hardware, his own building. He bought land, his own building, and is employing a staggering 55 young people. 55. So you can imagine, if we all of us decide to do something, we can be able to transform. And parents have a duty, professionals, the church and the government have a duty to inspire, and even the private sector. Young people have a lot of talent, a lot of energy. The problem has been lack of direction. We have so many talented guys. So I want to urge also some of us who have been given chance to be probably in government, probably in private sector. God has blessed you with a good business. Teach someone something. If God has blessed you to be a good farmer, teach a young person. And I have decided now I want to do a program called Lead Farmer Approach. Lead Farmer Approach is that I want to have one farmer in every 20 people, 20 neighbors, who is passionate, and we train him so that he does it so well to train the 20 people around him. So that we don't want selfishness. We want someone who will actually be able to be generous with information, teaches people how to get market, how to source for good seeds, how to do it, how to grow, how to take care of a dairy cow, how to feed, so that eventually we have so many people within the village who understand it. And we have, the Bible says that my people have perished because of lack of knowledge. So we have so many young people, women, old men, who want to do some of the things, but they don't have information. And as governor, I said, I want to bridge that gap of information by ensuring that we have dissemination. I am not yet there, but I'm pushing. Even personally, I'm doing it myself. So those are some of the things that we are trying to say, that we need to transform our place.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Governor. And of course, so many people asking so many questions. Let's hope that we'll also get time to answer that. But then, Governor, 6 months or rather almost 7 months down the line, you've been governor. Of course, my first question would be, how different is it from when you were deputy governor? Because now you are in charge of the county fully. And number two is, let's talk about Elgeyo Marakwet, for what so many people have known it in the last few days. There's been a lot of insecurity, of course, in the eastern side. So many people are asking questions about what you're doing about it. You've talked about the issue of cattle rustling having affected you when you were young, and somebody would ask a question, what are you now doing? Now that you are the governor, now that you've experienced this before, what are you doing to make sure that Elgeyo Marakwet is safer? Of course, it may not be a mandate of the county government to make sure that the people are secure, but then as a leader, then they'll come to you. What are you doing to make sure that at least in this time that you are a leader, we have Elgeyo Marakwet being secure for its people?
Thank you very much, MC Kalia. First and foremost, I want to say that my life as deputy governor and governor, of course, each of them has challenges. When I was deputy governor, the buck would not stop at me, but it's a good learning position. Actually, I would say I learned a lot, though you could not do it because the decision, you are not the ultimate person. It is actually the reason why I'm moving much faster, because I understood so many things. If you compare me with other colleagues who just came, they still take some time to pick up. But for me, I picked from day one because I had understood the entire thing. I had known where to improve, where to scale down, where to scale up. So I would say that there is a big difference now, because there is a sense of responsibility, because the buck stops with you. Any single mistake actually affects the entire community. And that one now gives you a huge burden that even as a young man, you have to ensure that you are on toes. You ensure that you are actually walk. I would say you have to be walk every moment to ensure that things are moving very well. You have to know that the hospitals have medical drugs. You have to know that every of your staff is safe wherever they are. You have to know that the community, how are the programs going on? Are our people planting what they were saying? Are there markets for our produce? Are our roads done well? Water, are there water projects? Are they doing so well? You have to get in feedback from the community. You have to actually disseminate feedback to your staff. So it's not it's not as easy as before, but I want to say that it's also fulfilling when you transform. When I get a project, when I am told that, Governor, we now have a good project going on, I think I feel so good by seeing that our people are getting good services closer to them. They are enjoying, just like what we did recently of Huduma Center, going around to help our people, having water projects, drilling water for our people, running the cash crop program. When you see some of the people sending me messages that they have received their money paid to their M-Pesa and they sell Pyrethrum, it gets fulfilling. It could be now that when I'm the governor, I am happy that I can change one or two lives. I may not change everyone's life, but I really want to change as many as possible. Coming to the insecurity issue, I want to say that it's a very complex issue. Having gone through it myself, having coming from the region, and probably God was actually trying to give me this challenge that you come from the Kerio Valley, you have to sort out this mess with your fellow leaders to ensure that this time round, we have never had a leader probably coming from that region, and probably God was giving us this chance so that we can be able to fix it at this moment. I want to say that first and foremost, I have total support from the president. Since I talked to him about this when I became governor, we have had good cooperation from the Minister of Interior. But I want to tell you, MC, that this problem is complex. It is complex because it is actually a problem that has grew over time, and it has to be sorted out wholesomely. You can't sort out and say we want to arrest criminals and it ends. It's a culture that has grew by leaps and bounds from the 1970s. The first gunshot was heard in the 1976 thereabout, and then guns have been bought all those years. An AK-47 which was bought in 1980 can still perform much perfectly even in 2023. That tells you that there are a number of guns that have been bought in the region, the entire North Rift region, from the 1970s. Remember, we have porous borders. Our people in Sudan, we have challenges in Sudan. We have challenges, we have so many porous all the way to Ethiopia, all the way, and guns are coming down at a high rate. And government, I think government slept by not actually handling, or they handle it in a different way. The biggest problem in that region has been marginalization over the years. So government has concentrated on more productive areas, more less chaotic places at the expense of the other areas. So if you leave those people, when you leave someone, just like even our children, if you leave your child and you neglect your child, there is some sense of rebellion. You find them rebellious. So what happens is, the biggest area that is giving us challenges now in the region is Tiaty constituency. West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet have a tremendous improvement in terms of security situation and in terms of handling its own young people. Why? Because West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet made it mandatory to go to school. Leaders built schools, and there was an encouragement to every child to go to school. So literacy levels now in West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet have risen. The challenge that we are having over the years is Tiaty constituency. It is a distance almost double Elgeyo Marakwet County, but has less few schools. And then the culture of the people, majority of the people have not been going to school. So if you have 12-year-olds who have not gone to school, if you have 8-year-olds who have not gone to school, 15-year-olds who are just at home, what are they doing? They are idling. There is a gun, and they have been told, when you use this gun, you can be able to get animals. When you get the animals, you can sell. Then came people who have commercialized this thing. They give the young people ammunition, and then they go for raids. When they bring the animals are loaded into lorries and taken to Dagoretti, eaten by Nairobi people. What happens is, the business is so lucrative that even a police officer, even head of securities along the region can be tempted to take that money because it's good money. For example, if you steal 100 cows in a day, 100 cows will tell you, I will tell you, times 20,000 is 2 million shillings in 2 hours. So 2 million shillings, you will return, these cartels will use only 500,000 on the raiders, and 1.5 million to the chief cartel. And you have to share with a huge number of people, because transporting cows all the way from Tiaty all the way to Nairobi actually needs you to be well connected along the road with the police. So that happens. So the issue is so complex, and I will quote my colleague Natembea, that you will be trying to plan for peace meetings with people whom are actually a beneficiary. And I will give you an example. We go for peace meetings. When we go for peace meeting, we talk, we say we want to finish this menace, we will expose those who are doing this. And after we leave the meeting, because the criminals and the people who are in this business don't want peace, what they do, they go and kill someone from the other community. They can kill a woman or a child, so that everyone else becomes so mad, and all the resolutions in the peace meeting are null and void now. We have talked, we have agreed that we want to be peaceful, we want to actually isolate all criminals in our midst, but someone goes and kills someone from the other community immediately after the meeting. So when you kill someone from the other community, what happens? The culture of revenge starts, because the criminals don't want peace. Actually, someone should tell you that Kerio Valley, the entire place, 99% of the people, or 98% of the people, are good people. The 2% or 3% who are wreaking havoc are being controlled by some few people. So what they do is that they make sure the place is ungovernable, so that they get good opportunity to continue with their menace.
And sorry to interrupt you. Of course, I saw you the other day, just to continue to join this particular topic. I saw you the other day. There's something you are signing as NOREB leaders, and part of it actually was about peace. And The question that comes in is how can the region, now that you've explained that it is something that goes beyond maybe your county alone, something that goes beyond even West Pokot, you must also involve Baringo somehow. The question that comes in is how effective is the NOREB region, or rather the organization of NOREB in terms of sorting out this mess? We've had NOREB for the last almost now 10 years. We've been talking about it. How different will it be now that Wisley Rotich is the governor?
First and foremost, I want to tell you that I want to go to the solutions now, what we are planning and what the region is planning. First and foremost, me as governor, I have offered myself to be the chair of the region in terms of security. I have actually volunteered in that position and I've been engaging my colleagues. Number two is that NOREB is very keen. We have not had a legal structure in NOREB. So recently we just signed and we are actually going to, this week, we are actually approving it in our cabinets, and then we are transiting it to county assemblies in the entire 8 counties, and then they will pass it so that it becomes legal. After becoming legal, it will be the first economic bloc in Kenya to actually be recognized legally by law. So what we are going to do, want to make it legal, and then we now start running activities including peace. That may take some time, but what I have done as governor, when I took over, I promised that I want to start an office which will coordinate peace. So already I've done it. I have a chief officer now who is doing his work. I actually we are giving him a vehicle. We are giving him a team so that he'll be working with the team in Baringo and the team in West Pokot. And already they're doing a tremendous job. For the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they have met with so many people. I have met with so many people myself. I've talked with so many people, leaders from the region. I've talked to Baringo governor. I've talked to the West Pokot governor. Even recently when we had some attacks, we actually had to coordinate and animals were returned to their rightful owners because of our coordination. What I have also done is we promised that we wanted to relocate police stations to the borders. What happened from the 1970s, no one has ever relocated police stations to the borders. We have police stations in centers, and eventually we have a playground where bandits play around. So what we did, we requested the president that if possible we relocate, and we partnered with the county. What I did as a governor is I took all machines and I went to levelize KDF camps which were taken to the border. The first camp was in Todo, that is now in border of Tiate and West and Marakwet East. And since they relocated there, we have never had even a single gunshot. People are planting crops now along River Kerio because of that camp that has been placed there. We are commencing another one again between Loiwat and Kolor, just along the border. And we want to do another one within the West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet border. Not to do anything, but just to maintain peace and to give our people chance and give dialogue chance. So when we have them there, it becomes very easy for us to coordinate so that these people don't get a chance to kill someone after a meeting. We go to a meeting, someone kills someone so that the resolution of the meeting becomes null and void. So what we have done is we are relocating camps, and secondly, criminals have thrived because the area is landlocked. We want to thank the president for allowing us to continue there, and Waziri Murkomen, who is our CS for transport. They have allowed, there was a road that had stalled between coming from Chemolingot all the way to Barbelo to Tot, and then to Chesegon all the way to Marich Pass. It had stalled, and coming back to Chesongoch and upwards, it had stalled for some time. Want to appreciate the president and Waziri Murkomen and the leaders that this is now it's resuming now, and we can see it's opening up. So when you open that area, criminals will not have a place to hide. Even in my area also, I still have challenges because of inaccessibility. The police cannot be able to track criminals. So what we are doing is we are partnering with KDF. We are partnering with the Ministry of Interior led by CS Kindiki to start doing security roads. So very soon we shall be running security roads along towards the river and even along the river. That will make sure that anytime there are criminals, it is very easy for the police, the KDF and the special units to go around and intercept them. So immediately when we have had these units come, especially the KDF units, they have really helped us, and the special units, they have really helped us. And we used to hear gunshots. You hear in the morning a roar, in the afternoon at around 11 a.m. Mogil area, Chesongoch and Tot and Kaben, you could hear gunshots up to 5 attacks in a day. But since we relocated those camps, I can tell you that we have very few isolated cases now, and the community, for the first time, are starting to go to markets. People are now going to Koloo Market for the first time. Like last week, they went to Koloo Market. We are starting markets. We are actually encouraging them to even Tot, the market in Tot to resume, the market in Aror to resume. We also want to see on our way of resuming the Chesegon market. And then also, young people have decided to start playing football. Last week, they played football at Kerio Valley Boys, both from Tiati and Elgeyo Marakwet. We now want to add West Pokot so that we can have small tournaments going around, young people interacting. We can talk to them. We can give them opportunities to do other things. We have also bought seeds for all the 3 counties. That is West Pokot, Baringo, and Elgeyo Marakwet. I personally intervened with World Vision and some partners to buy for us watermelon seeds, maize seeds, sorghum. I personally distributed sorghum seeds so that they start growing the area. There is another intervention that I'm also following up with Red Cross. We had a project that we did jointly with Elgeyo Marakwet and Tiati, which is called Tot Koloo Irrigation Scheme. I'm following up with the Red Cross, and they have offered me to revive the project, and they are coming to my office either today or tomorrow so that we can be able to see the modalities of reviving the project so that we irrigate both areas. So we'll have our young people engaged. Actually the solution is to engage our young people. And finally, the president has allowed us and has accepted that in Tiati constituency, they are going to build schools. The number of schools in Tiati are still very few compared to Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot. So they want to build more schools, more primary schools and secondary schools, and make it mandatory for children to go to school. The right to education has been denied to the children of Tiati for a long period. We have told the president, if possible, have it as an affirmative action. Our regional leaders in Noreb have also all agreed with us that our biggest problem is Tiati. If we fix Tiati, we fix the entire region. So the best way to fix Tiati is we don't need to be selfish as leaders, that I want it in my area. We want to ensure that Tiati is opened up, children go to school in Tiati, and automatically we eliminate the banditry age school by taking them to school. That is an age below 25. If you take anyone below 25 to school, below 18 to school, automatically it wipes all the criminals in the community or potential criminals. But as it is, if we don't take them to school, it's just a manufacturing company. You are still manufacturing more and more by day, and we will never have peace in the shortest time possible. But we are hopeful, and I'm really very hopeful as a governor. I'm really passionate about it, and I've said if I don't deliver anything else, I just want to deliver the peace. It is not easy, but I want to say, together with my fellow leaders, the MPs, the governors from the region, the MCAs, the senators, the women reps, want to work all of us together. And yesterday, the last weekend, the wife of the president, our first lady, Madam Her Excellency Rachel Ruto, was in Marigat for almost 3 days with our spouses and some leaders from the region, praying for peace and actually praying for forgiveness. We forgive each other. Even for me in the region, in Elgeyo Marakwet, we had one person from our area who went to kill a small child in a place called Kamalogon. I had to go personally and send people to go and say pole, to go and request that we forgive each other as we look for the criminal. We are not saying we leave the criminal. We are looking for the criminal, all of us, and telling the police to take action. But again, we want the community to feel not to come and revenge. Let us personalize it to the criminal, not to the community. And they accepted. Yesterday, someone came and killed someone in Kaben, and the entire leadership of West Pokot came to say pole. So there is a lot of goodwill. And we are now starting to isolate criminals. We want to isolate criminals and call them by their names. We don't want to say now it's community versus community. We want to isolate criminals. And when we isolate criminals, it becomes very easy for us when we have to ensure that we know it is so-and-so who is the criminal, who is killing people. That person should be arrested alone. It should not be taken as a community burden. It is one person who decided to pull the trigger. It's one person who decided to carry the gun. It is not a collective responsibility of the entire community, even children and women who don't know guns. So I want to say that I hope that we working together with all the leaders and opening up the area, we are going to do quite a lot. If we open up the markets, and it will be shameful also. We are trying to tell our people it will be shameful that the president comes from our region and we are still killing each other. All the way, the president comes from the North Rift, Turkana, West Pokot, Samburu, Baringo, all of it is North Rift, Elgeyo Marakwet, and we are still killing each other. It's going to be shameful, and we are shaming the president. And I've told my people, if possible, why don't we change and do other things? We also appreciate that the president has promised us to revive the Aurora and Kimware dams. Those ones will actually act as a way of occupying our people also, and opening up the area for alternative economic activities, which actually has not been there for a while. So we are hopeful. I also don't want to forget the religious leaders. Bishop Kimengich, the Catholic Diocese of Eldoret Bishop, is doing a tremendous job with the Catholic Justice and Peace Commission. And we also have the bishop, the AIC Bishop Kipsoi from Elgeyo Marakwet, the bishop from Baringo, and the bishop from West Pokot. They are doing a good job in terms of promoting peace in the region. We have the Methodist Church, which has started a church inside Tiati constituency. We have the AIC fellowship here in Eldoret, which has started a mission station in Lodengo with the help of Elgeyo Marakwet. We have missionaries who have left Eldoret and Elgeyo Marakwet to go and work in Tiati to be pastors. We have the Catholic Church there doing some wonderful job. Priests from West Pokot yesterday came to Elgeyo Marakwet to read mass and preach in all our churches in Endo. 3 priests came and they went to actually preside over mass in all our churches along the valley. We have other churches that are coming in that who want to do a lot of work for us. So we are grateful that something is happening, though slowly, but we are happy that something is happening. We still have one weak link, the NGO community. We are still requesting the non-governmental organizations, please, to join us in this journey of changing the mindset. Someone told us that let us change the mindset. If you don't change the heart and mind, we are not going anywhere. So changing the mindset needs a lot of personnel, needs a lot of volunteers to talk to our people, and eventually we are hopeful that in the next 1 year or 2 years we should be having long-lasting peace. And immediately we get it, we don't want to do it like last time when we got peace in 2004 when Kibaki became the president. We all relaxed and we didn't do anything until 2014 when it erupted again. So what we are going to do is that we want to immediately we get peace, we embark on development projects. We request our president to open up the area. We actually bring alternative ways of economic development, socio-economic transformation, so that by the time one person wants to come back to the crime, it will be too late actually to reverse it. We want to make it forward to the level that it will be reversible to go back to the banditry again.
And Governor, close to that, of course, is the issue of now, how do we engage this youth in all counties? And people would ask about what you're doing about sports. That's the first thing. Then, of course, the mandate of education, especially for the ECD, squarely falls in the county governments. And there is a question that has come so many times. I think I've seen almost 3 questions asking about confirming the ECD teachers. I think there is a comment explaining that maybe you've renewed the contract for another 3 years and there is an increment of 3,000. So first of all, let's talk about ECD. What's the plan for you? What plan does your government has for ECD? Then 2, let's also talk about sports and culture. Sports, culture, and also maybe adding to it tourism. Of course, I had those questions distinctively, but then now I'm also looking at the time. So let's look at ECD. Let's talk about what you're doing about sports. Let's talk about talent and how can we use our culture to pull more people towards Elgeyo Marakwet. I want us to talk about tourism as a different thing. So let's first of all start with ECD. Let's talk about the issue of sports and talent.
Thank you very much. First and foremost on ECD, when I became governor, I told them I'm going to change the environment, working environment, because actually they are our mothers, brothers, sisters, and they have been struggling for the last 10 years. What I did when I became, the first thing was that they are facing challenges even in terms of medical. What I did, I actually put them on a comprehensive medical insurance. So everyone, an ECD teacher in Elgeyo Marakwet now gets a medical attention just like the governor, unlimited, because we have given them a comprehensive NHIF medical cover, which has actually tried to reduce even the household income on medication. At least they save a lot of money on that. The second thing is that I was looking for a budget to ensure that we confirm them. So what I did, We tried to even sacrifice by not promoting our normal cadre of staff who are in the offices. And I told them, instead of us promoting you, let us sacrifice this 1 year and actually confirm all our ECD teachers. So what I did, I presented the budget to the county assembly recently, not the budget, the CFSP, actually requesting them that we confirm all of them at once. And unfortunately they may not have accepted. I'm told they reduced. I'm still negotiating with some of the few MCAs to allow us. Negotiating with a few of them, so they reduced that amount of money, and because they had not been given some of their dues. But I am requesting them again before we pass the budget. I want to beg. I'm actually now doing lobbying with individual MCAs to allow us to actually confirm all of them at once, so that we finish this thing at once. If I succeed, it will be good. If I don't, then it means they will be added a certain amount, close to 5,000 shillings in this financial year. Then again, I will start in the next. But my real wish is that I finish it in this financial year. So something is happening already. I have put them on into comprehensive insurance cover. It means only it's me now taking them into the pay grade and then confirming all of them at once. So if I succeed, I will really be, I thank God, because it will be an achievement, because their working environment now will be better. They will be able to serve our children better, and even their families will actually be improving. So that is what the first thing. The second thing on tourism is that we are now revamping Rimoy. We have started with the roads. We are starting with marketing, and I will also want to Dawi to partner with me to start marketing aggressively. Rimoy is a beautiful place. Elgeyo Marakwet is a beautiful place. We have so many places which are beautiful. We have Kepla Church in Kabiego. Very nice caves. We have Kureso Hot Springs in Soy South. We have the beautiful and escarpments in Marakwet West, Marakwet East, Keye North, and Keye South. We have, for example, Kiptaber Hill, where people go for hiking. We have so many. You come to Iten, there is sports tourism. People come to train in Iten. So what I'm doing now in Iten is that I'm trying to levelize a few fields across the county, so that our people can get places to train. We are also starting schools mentorship programs. I am talking to principals and head teachers of institutions to allow them to have at least one teacher to be a coach, to be a champion, and we want to train them so that we have every school starting to train children during games hours, during over the weekends. They can be able to train young people both in secondary and primary schools. We want to do something that was done by an Irish brother, Catholic brother called Brother Com, who is still in St. Patrick's. He did a wonderful mentorship program of young people, talent promotion, and we want to do it across. That's why you see Elgeyo Marakwet now, we are having more races. I've also decided that we'll be every quarter, every 4 months, we have a race in Iten. Yesterday, we had a Betika race. We had the marathon, some less than in December. So we have other few marathons, few races coming before we do our own marathon in November. So we are doing so many to ensure that we make our place a sports destination. We have a cycling area now in Iten. We have an investor who has come to help us have a cycling area to train cyclists. So we are actually trying to do a lot in that area, and opening up the roads within the game reserve, and opening up the escarpment roads. I've partnered with NYS, partnered with MTF and Mechanical Transport Fund to open up the roads in the entire place. So we are having so many bulldozers. We are purchasing more, and to open up the entire escarpment. So in the next 1 year or two, you will have Elgeyo Marakwet opened up in many areas, and then we will start maintaining them, and the national government can take up some of the few roads, so that we can be able to open up the area for tourism. So we want to say that also we want to request all investors. If you are an investor and you are into hospitality industry, please come to us. We want to have people set up hotels inside Rimoy Game Reserve. So if you are an investor, we will allocate you some small land, so long as you are environmentally friendly in your idea. Ecologists, we want tented camps. We want to have them inside the park, so that we have enough accommodation, because that has been a big problem to us. I am also negotiating with Kenya Wildlife Service. We want to have animals caged or orphanage. We want to have an orphanage where at the gate we can have a lion, or we can have a buffalo, or we can have an ostrich just at the gate there, so that when visitors come, they can easily be seeing them. So we have a lot of elephants around. We have actually the biggest elephants in the region. We have zebras. We have so many animals in the place. So we want to help each other to ensure that we make the place attractive. But I want to invite everyone, if you have not experienced Rimoy, please come. We have the Torok Falls, we have Kiplachurch caves in Kabiego, we have Kureso Hot Springs. The only place which you have hot water oozing from the ground is in Kureswa, in Soy South, in Kenya South. We have so many. We have paragliding that happens from Iten. We have now cycling coming. We have people running. You can even come to Iten and stay for a few days and become fit, run with the runners, run with the champions. Come when we are having these races. Come and buy land in Iten, holiday home along the escarpment. Come and plant coffee with us. Come and plant pyrethrum with us. Come and enjoy the beauty of Elgeyo Marakwet County, the culture. Immediately peace now is coming. We want to run cultural competition. We have, I'm sure you've had a lot of cultural groups coming up from Elgeyo Marakwet now who are entertaining people during functions. We are having so many groups coming up. We are trying to encourage them so that we actually transform our county. So I don't want to say much. Finally is that on the economic part is that we want to start an industrial park where industries will come and set up. I'm following up to get the land. If I get the land quickly, then we are going to run it from July to start and set up so that investors will not be coming to look for land. We will just be taking them to the place, they set up and they start employing our young people. So that we get market for our produce, we get jobs for our young people, and we transform the entire place to be an economic powerhouse in the region. So that probably at least by the time I'm retiring as governor, I want to leave a mark. I want to leave to make a difference in the lives of the people of Elgeyo Marakwet.
Okay, this is the Morning Glory Show, and with us this particular morning is His Excellency Honorable Wesley Rotich. He is the governor of Elgeyo Marakwet County. Of course, he also is the chairperson for ICT committee in the Council of Governors. Of course, it's quite a long title. He'll be telling us in a few about that particular title. But then at this particular hour, of course, there are a lot of questions which have come in. Let me just try to sample some of the comments that we have here. There is somebody called Ngeno Ronald says, having experienced the frustrations of cattle rustlers, what are your plans to addressing it? Of course, that has already been answered. Cheruyot Willie says, watching from Kapsawar, Elgeyo Marakwet County, Governor Raya is doing exemplary work by engaging citizens in meaningful development from cash crops, digital economy, and youth empowerment. Thank you so much for that. Donald Kiptoa, watching from Kilima EMC, thank you so much. Game Boy Evans, thank you so much for making time. Moses Kipiego, thank you so much. Titus Chesanai says, watching from EMC, thank you so much. Robert Kiprotich asking, which agenda, with the agendas, much transformation is expected. Of course, Kosgera Apchesir asking a question there about your plan for sports and tourism. Of course, we've talked about tourism. Maybe you still need to talk about sports and also other talents. We're seeing quite a lot of content creation also from your region. Maybe that's something that I will give a governor a chance to talk about. There is Boa Smith who says, we are proud of what the governor is doing. Ask the governor, what is he doing to enhance the sports with the county, especially football, with the emergence of talents of our youth. Boas Chair FKF is from EMC. Thank you so much. Biwat Bet says, following, is proud of a governor who is his classmate. Thank you so much. There is a Kibet says ICT centers within the county. Of course, somebody talking about what you're doing about ICT in your county. Kindly inquire for us a challenge with the road from HZ through Tambui to Kapkitony. It's pathetic. Are there plans for the same? Thank you so much for the question. MC Endumbosa says, appreciate the governor for Kapchembutuk Bridge in Metkei. Thank you so much. Of course, so many comments. I may not sample all of them. Sniper watching from Marakwet East, Governor Waraya is overworking. Thank you so much. There is somebody else called William Kirop Lemuruk says, watching from Kirinyaga County. Tell the governor to connect the road from Kapiego, Tangul, Kaprosost in around
Kaporest.
Yeah, Kaporest, something like that. Quite a convoluted name, but then at least governor is understanding what you're talking about. So many more comments here. Let me just still try to sample some more because I don't want to forget anyone out. But then as I continue to read the comments, of course, help us to continue, share the broadcast. And also, if you're watching us for the first time, kindly click the notification button because the Morning Glory show comes to you every Monday to Friday. So make sure that you click the notification button so that next time you get a chance to also watch the Morning Glory show. Monday briefing is the day where we invite our leaders to just share about what they are doing for you. Lamek Mai says, say hi to governor. He's doing a good job following cleanly. Of course, there is somebody also who's asked about PWDs in your county. What are you doing about them? Alan Kosgei says, a people's governor. He's really doing great work and serving his people as per the campaign promises. Say hi to the governor. Bonnie Kim, say hi to governor. He's the best performing governor in Rift Valley. Thank you so much. Aska Kogan, thank you so much for creating time. Mutai Hilarious Limo, thank you so much for creating time. He's saying the only sober leader in Kenya. Thank you so much. Arapuria asks, what plans do you have for youths in talent, in supporting talent? Of course, that is still coming up in the issue of also content creators. We have comedians, we have other talents apart from just sports. There's also MC Masir saying, wonderful following. Say hi to the governor, my good friend. Thank you so much for that. Of course, the comments are many, but then all I can say is that they all rotate around sports, tourism, talent development, and all that. Engineer Caleb Tanui says, good morning, guys. I like the energy. Our able governor put in effort to see piece of EMC get the best service delivery. Good job, Bwana Governor. Thank you so much for the so many comments. MC Masir, of course, nishapitisha salamu zako. He's my treasurer somewhere, so he may chase me out of the committee if I don't mention his name. So MC Masir, thank you so much, and the governor is happy that you've said hi. Okay, Governor, maybe you can start by answering those ones, then we'll come up to wrap up the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all those comments. I know there are so many others who have asked questions. First and foremost, you can easily see that our young people actually, something that I thank God for is that our young people are now starting to be engaged in development. Previously, they could not even ask questions about what is happening. But I'm really proud of our young generation now. We have a better generation now in terms of asking questions, participatory development, and I really want to invite them that even the good ideas that our young people, you will see people like MC Masir, Raburia, all those groups. These are people who have successfully monetized talent. And I am really looking for them to come and help me talk to the others to show them it's possible. They are becoming an inspiration. So I'm really happy with the current new generation. Of course, with you guys in Dawi, you will see the guy who is doing fashion. My guy Dan.
Of course, he's one of the sponsors for this particular show.
He's doing a wonderful job, and he's a young fellow. So I want to say that on talent and ICT as the chair, I want to lead by example. I don't have the resources, but I have decided to look for partners. Number one is that in this week or next week, we are breaking ground for a 500 computer ICT center in Iten. This ICT center will act as a multi-purpose thing. It can help young people, number one, to come and do their own things, number one. Number two, the biggest limitation to our young people has been internet and even having a computer. If you come from a very humble background, you can't have a computer, you don't have a laptop, you don't have high-speed internet. So what we want to do, want to bring high-speed internet, want to have enough computers there, and then we want to run it 24 hours. So that means you can come there and stay for as long as you want. So we want to have it as an incubation center. If you want to start software development, you want to do online working like data entry, online marketing, or you want to do programming, you want to do all things online, or you want to set up your company. If you want to set up your company and you want us to incubate you, we want you to come and work there free of charge inside that incubation hub. So, and again, we do the mega one in Iten, want to have one in Chesoi, one in Kapsawar is continue. I just want to scale it up, and one in Kenya South, probably in Nyaru or in Chepkoria. So we are looking for the infrastructure now, and what I have done also is that I have waived charges on anyone who is laying internet fiber in Elgeyo Marakwet County. If you are laying internet in the entire county of Elgeyo Marakwet, I'm going to do it free of charge. You are going to lay it free of charge. We are not charging you because I have calculated as an economist. I will charge you 50,000 or 500,000, and then I chase you. automatically because you may not want it. And then my young people across the county cannot have reliable internet, and they can lose out on online jobs, they can lose out on online content creation, and eventually I kill 1,000 or 2,000 jobs just because of my selfishness as a governor needing 500,000 revenue. What I've said is I am sacrificing the entire revenue of that 500,000 to open up opportunities for thousands of young people. So I have calculated what we call in economics opportunity cost. What am I earning in something that I've forgone? So I'm foregoing that and getting large number of jobs and opening up. So there will be more reliable internet for our young people. On football and sports, I have said I want to have a lot of competition happening in my county for sports, especially athletics. I want to have talent camps in all our primary schools and secondary schools and have a coach so that they can be able to help us. But on football, we have a massive, and I want Dawi to also partner with me. We have Governor Waraya tournament coming. The leading team will have $1 million. So we are targeting a team from every sub-location, and they are finishing their registration on 20th this month. And then we start off the action. It will be one of the biggest competitions in Kenya, and actually one of the most best talent search that we are going to do as we wait for the presidential. President is having his own called Talenta Hela. So the president will be having Talenta Hela. Before then, I want to make sure that I have a strong team from Elgeyo Marakwet County, which will actually put the Elgeyo Marakwet on the map in athletics and in football. So anytime soon, you will see Governor Waraya tournament. It is going to start from the village. So you will see people playing in the village, young people, very talented people. And I'm now seeking for partners along the way. I'm looking for so many partners to give them. You can buy shoes, you can buy uniform, you can even say in this sub-location or in this ward when they are competing, I'll give them something. But me as governor, I'll be at the headquarters waiting for the best guy, give him $1 million. The second person, 750,000. Third person, 500. And the fourth team will get 250,000. So 100,000, I think it's 100,000. So that amount is up for grabs, and is going to be one of the ways of actually transforming our place. So I want actually to also say on the roads, I know some of the roads are still looking bad. The one that you have talked about, from the one from H.E Tambul all the way to Simotwa, we have a machine which will be there, which is going to help. We don't have a budget for that road currently, but we are looking for partnership with Kera and myself and even NYS, but we want to send a machine. I passed through the road myself recently, and we are trying. On the Kapchebutuk bridge and the other one we are doing also another bridge there. We are actually doing some things that have not been done for several years. So we want to do the bridges, and then we now start improving the road. So we are doing it with all partners, and I want to look for a cheaper way of doing it. That's why I'm partnering with NYS. We have the one in Kabiego, the Kaborest one, the Tangul road that he has just mentioned. We are going to do our best. We have also done Tangul to Embobut. Has never been connected since 1963. I have already made sure it's connected, and Waziri Murkomen is helping us to actually put Maram along that road, so that for the first time you link up Yego and Embobut and Endo. So it will be a good way for business. If you are coming from Kitale, Kapcherop, Kabiego, going down to Embobut, it will be very easy, and to Endo, so to transit. So it will improve even for hustlers to get business. Hustlers will now start getting business. Same to Kenya South, Kenya North, and Marakwet West. We are doing several roads which are ongoing. We are drilling water across in many of the areas. We are doing water projects which are ongoing. We are doing our ECDT schools. We are doing our TVET schools. We are doing our hospitals. We are equipping many hospitals. So we have so much going on. And also to ensure that we want to equip our hospitals. Kamosor, we have just received equipment worth 100 million from French government. That is in Kenya South. In Kenya North, we are equipping, using World Bank money, an entire mother and baby hospital at the 10 referral hospital. We have done so many transformation within the hospital at the 10, including an eye clinic, including an oxygen piping system across all wards. We have oxygen now in we have oxygen cylinders that will be distributed to all our facilities in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Kapcherop, we are doing a whole hospital, a full hospital from scratch. And in Tot, we are actually doing an outpatient that is going to support that's going to support the MTC which is coming up in Kaptarakwa. We are drilling water for the hospital in Kaptarakwa Health Center, and we are also equipping it with an X-ray and operationalize the theater very soon. So we in all our entire 4 sub-counties, you will see so many things happening. In Kabiego, we are giving them, they have never seen an ambulance since, and they are actually at the border, and they're struggling to get medical attention. So I'm giving them a brand new ambulance, and we are buying one for Metkei, Kamosor. We have so many things happening, but I want to appreciate the community because they have really helped me to actually make sure that there is quality control. When a road is not done well, I want to appreciate the community because they give me feedback that this road is not done well. Kindly, Governor, intervene. And I've told them any contractor who does not do his work well, forget, they will not be paid. So you will lose. So if you are a contractor in Elgeyo Marakwet now, just do your work. If you don't do, I am not going to pay you. So and you are going to cry. And when you cry, my people will not listen to you because you have done a shoddy job. So the community will give me feedback, and I will act on that feedback. Because mimi naitwa governor wa raia, I will ensure that I serve my people. So there are so many things happening. I am actually talking to so many partners. Like for example, we don't have an agricultural training center. We are talking to partners. We may soon be running we may soon be getting an entire agricultural training center built from scratch. We are following up on so many other partnerships in terms of TVET. We want to have a computer center in Chepsirei, in TTI, Kipsoen TTI, in Kapcherop TTI, and in Krell, in Kerio Valley, another TTI. Want to have them have full computers which will even support the students and the community around there, so that we step up the issue of ICT, and also in our vocational training center. So we have so much going on. We cannot say it in a day, we cannot say it in an hour, but I want to tell my people in Elgeyo Marakwet what I have not done now. Please be patient. I am looking for partners. Our budget is very little, but I have decided that I'm not going to complain about the budget. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to find ways of resource mobilization. I have started a whole department which has almost 20 staff deployed to it, called Resource Mobilization Department. Their work is to produce proposals for me as governor to take it to partners, several partners. We have so many partners, IFAD, we have so many coming, World Bank, we have so many partners who are trying to come back, FAO, so many partners want to come and help us, European Union, the Water Sector Trust Fund, all of them, KVDA is drilling for us some boreholes. They are coming with, they are supporting my ethane water, because we have a challenge with ethane. They are improving my dam at ethane. We have so many partners coming in because of our resource mobilization efforts, helping, of course, with the help of the other leaders. We are working together to ensure that Elgeyo Marakwet will not remain the same. On the field, Kamarin, which is historic.
And of course, as you answer that, West, because of time, as you answer that, also talk about the Prepare Education program.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Of course, talk about it. And the biggest concern for people is, of course, we've had a bad history in the region with such programs. I do not want to go into details. People would ask about that. Then also, as you finish up, of course, I know I'm giving you a lot of questions. The Evolution Conference is coming close to home.
Yes.
What is the plan for you as a governor from this region? How do you plan to reap from it as a region? And finally, as you also give your closing remarks, I don't know which question to leave out, but Governor, you're dealing with the same people the Member of Parliament is dealing with, the same people. And this is a question I love asking all the leaders who come on set, because Elgeyo Marakwet has... how many sub-counties? Those are 4 sub-counties. I think almost 30 wards, right?
20 wards.
Yeah, 20 wards. Okay, now we're talking about 20 wards, 4 sub-counties. There's a member of parliament in every sub-county. There's an MCA in every ward. There's a senator also who happens to be part of this particular... who happens to be a leader in this particular place. All of you serving the same people, but everyone with their own inspirations. Let's also talk about the issue of the unity for purpose. How do you make sure, and of course, now that you are governor, you are the in charge in this county, how do you make sure that you pull all these leaders together? So start with Prepare program. Of course, if you forget anything, I'll just remind you.
Thank you very much. I will start with the Kamarin Stadium that we have actually engaged the president, the minister, Namwamba, as late as this week. and we spoke. We are following up with the area MP, Mheshimiwa Adam Skipsanai. We are following up, and we may be getting breakthrough. We have been told that anytime it's approved, we are going to have a contractor coming back to site so that we can be able to actually return back the historic Marine and actually make the place a hub for competition, athletics, and that's what I almost forgot, so that I know many of my people will ask me that question. And secondly, on Prepare program, the reason why we started Prepare program is we realize that opportunities locally are actually becoming limited. However, there are challenges because some of these international programs are expensive, very lucrative, but at the same time expensive. The only way you can do is you have to partner. I know we have some history that has been happening, but what we have decided as a county is that we want to go to friendly countries who do not have challenges, who will not pose challenges to us. For example, already we are talking with Australia, and they have taken, for example, I'm taking close to 100 students to a university called CIC University, which has given me almost 50% scholarship. Yesterday we have even still here with us are the deans of a university in US called Harding University. We have Canadian universities. I have partnered almost 7 of them, and we have close to 200 students who are in the process in various stages of actually going to Canada. So what we have done is we have actually passed up. We have a policy, and we have now started a program where we have pre-departure information. We call parents even before you apply. We call a meeting. We talk to you about the program. You understand the program, so that when you are leaving, and what we have decided is that money is the root of all evil. What we want to do is that we want to make sure you full disclosure of everything. You understand the school fees. You understand what is required of you, what is required of the parent. Mine is facilitative because I don't have a budget at the county to run that program because it's expensive. I have only negotiated for cheaper rates for students, and then you just apply and pay the fees to the school. So that becomes very easy for you. You are given an admission letter, you pay the fees. Mine is to just make sure that I negotiate with the embassy so that you don't have a lot of challenges when you're applying for visa. So that is what actually we are trying to do. And we have overwhelming support. Failing and the challenges that we faced in the previous program should not make us lose sight and say now we close everything. What we want to do is we learn from the challenges, of the previous program, and we make sure that we tighten the belts and we ensure that the other programs are seamless. I have started a whole department with staff, responsible staff, and I've given them express orders that there is no, let us give information. There is no harm someone refusing. Give someone full information, tell them you are going there, it will be 50% scholarship, you will pay for yourself the rest. And I know our people have been selling land, and they have been conned so many ways. The reason why I have started this department is so that we avoid people being conned by agents, being conned by so many ways. So I started this so that I engage with the universities direct from the county to the university. When you engage, the trust levels and the integrity of the program actually goes up. So I want to say that we should not be distracted by that, and we are hoping that with that program, I am targeting to have at least in every sub-location someone who has gone abroad, to open the ways for other young people, either by investing home, because I'm an economist, I'm calculating, I'm computing that if I lift 2,000, 3,000 people from Elgeyo Marakwet County, a minimum remittance by each of them is usually 1 million shillings. 1 million shillings. So if I send 3,000 people abroad in the next 10 years, not 10 years, 5 years, and then I do another 3. So in 10 years I have almost 10,000 people. I'll be remitting 10 billion to Elgeyo Marakwet, not even Kenya, but to Elgeyo Marakwet specifically, because someone will be buying a vehicle to his mother, someone will be building a house for his mother, he's employing food, he's doing a project for the mother, a dairy project, a poultry project. So we'll all be investing in Elgeyo Marakwet County. It is going to be accelerating our economic development as a county. So that is the hidden agenda that I have. The hidden agenda is foreign remittance back home. When we have so many children gone outside there, they will remit a lot of money back to our people. So that's what I really wanted to talk about on as much as Prepare program is. And we want to say, we are not saying we are yet there, but we are improving the program. On leaders, we are working together. I have now devised a way that we will be communicating with our leaders on various programs that are happening. Some of the times when we are going to ministries, I call them, we go together so that we have a unit of purpose. My MCAs, we are actually having consultative forums. We talk to individual MCAs, and when I'm going to the wards, I actually go with them so that we understand we are all working from the same picture. And I will continue. It's not easy because everyone has his own manifesto, everyone has his own ways of doing things, but I try to bring them together so that we work together and ensure that we transform our county together.
Was about the devolution conference coming close to home, and I was asking the question, how would you, as a governor of a very neighboring country, of course, a lot of people from Elgeyo Marakwet are able to access Osingishu and to do business here. How are you planning to reap also from that as a governor from this region?
Thank you very much. I want to say that today or tomorrow, we should be running a notice or a memo to all our business people within Elgeyo Marakwet County who have hospitality facilities, to tell them to prepare for this day, for this week, the devolution conference. Osingishu alone will not be able to manage because I think we are talking about almost 10,000 participants. So it will mean that we will have strain. We have not done such a hosting before, and devolution conference is usually a very big thing. So we as a region have decided that we are going to co-host by actually us providing accommodation facilities for the participants. So meaning people will be going all the way to Elgeyo Marakwet, to Baringo, to Trans Nzoia, all the way to Nandi to actually get accommodated, because Osingishu may not be able to accommodate everyone the same day. So we want to say that we are going to communicate to our business people so that they start preparing their facilities. They ensure that they do some renovations, they replace some few things so that they take advantage of that devolution conference and ensure that they reap enough, because apart from the substance that is going to be discussed, it's also a way of testing the resilience of the region and the preparedness of the region to host big things. So it will be a very big test for us as a region, and I want to say we are up to task with my colleagues led by Governor of Osingishu, Governor Chalilim. We are working together to ensure that all the participants get an experience like no other. We want to ensure that the region becomes a host like no other that has ever done a good job since devolution. So it's going to be a very important day, and I even tell our residents of the North Rift to be prepared to ensure that to host this huge delegation. This will be high government officials, there will be partners from the private sector, there will be development partners from various institutions, people, international visitors. We will be having so many people, and we are hoping that it's going to open up and it's going to test Eldoret as a city, and of course me in Elgeyo Marakwet coming up very closely, following up to ensure that we succeed as a region. And you know, when we do it as a region, there are a lot of economies of scale. When we pool resources, the region will actually move much faster compared to other regions. So we want to lead by example, become breadbasket, sports destination, tourism destination, conferencing destination as an entire region, so that we actually ensure that our people in this region develop, and we become, of course, the region of the president. We should not be the ones actually pulling the president down, but to ensure that he succeeds in his agenda. I also want to say that as an economist, I participated in the crafting of the bottom-up agenda as a participant also, and as one of the experts. And I want to say that whatever the president is doing now, it's going to hurt in the short run, but in the long run, it will bring out a very strong economy, because if we continue with the way that the previous government was doing, we are going to close this country sooner than we think. The best is we have to make a lot of reforms so that we can be able to move. And I want to tell you that the president is doing a tremendous job. As with the challenges that he's facing, he's doing a wonderful job. And we're hoping that even what we saw in the fertilizer program, we can easily say that the president is actually committed towards transforming this economy and sustainably. There is something you can give people tokens. There is a tokenism economy where you say, "Oh, I want to give you subsidies today, tomorrow you remove." But the president is looking at a sustainable economy, just like Kibaki did. Kibaki actually transformed Kenyan economy to a level that's almost self-reliant. The last 10 years, we have made everyone reliant on government. When county government does not pay, business people go out of business. If national government does not pay, so everyone has been reliant on government. What we want to do is want to take the economy back to private sector led. Private sector led means even when government is not paying, things are moving in the economy. So currently, in the last 10 years, we destroyed the economy to the level that everyone is relying on government. If government is not working, if government is dead, everyone is dead. So we want to say that we want to make sure that business people like you, private people like you, can be able to have a good environment to thrive, to do their work. Like in Elgeyo Marakwet now, I'm trying to improve the environment. I'm digitizing things to improve the environment for business people, improve the experience. When business people take lead, when business people get money, they distribute that money in the community, they work, they employ, they do, it becomes very easy. But as we speak now, if you don't get a job in government, you are dead. We want to have to create jobs in private sector. We want to have a good environment in private sector, for private sector to thrive very fast, and we create millions of jobs in the private sector. That is exactly what our president is doing to ensure that private people, private sector is actually improved, as opposed to having government running everything from morning to evening. When the government is not doing well, we are all dead as it is now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for creating time for us. Of course, I'll give you 1 minute. I'm sorry that I'll have to give you 1 minute to just give your parting shot to our viewers and also to the people of Elgeyo Marakwet.
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate Dawi for this wonderful program, very informative. I know the time was short. I want to say that I'm really happy and privileged and humbled to have been invited. It's not all of us who will get this privilege, but I'm really happy that you gave me this privilege to talk to our people, to talk not alone from Elgeyo Marakwet, from the region and from Kenya. I want to say that this is a way to go. I want to inspire our young people and I want to tell my young people, fellow colleagues, that please let us learn from these young people doing tremendous job. Dow is doing a good job run by young people and monetizing talents. When you turn your talent into money, it becomes well paying. Look at artists across the world. Look at all the talents, all the people who are earning from talents. Talent can be able to take you anywhere. Don't lie to yourself that you can only go on one direction, and if you don't succeed, you are dead. Please engage, talk to other young people, talk to people, open up. Don't stay alone. Don't be depressed when you can still talk to someone. Talk to a leader, talk to your governor, talk to a colleague, talk to a friend, talk to Dawi who have done something. Just talk to someone. Don't just stay at home and say, I am done. Please, God has a purpose for you. God has purpose for everyone. Let us not give up. It is the only resource that we have as a country and as a county in Elgeyo Marakwet is a powerful human resource in our young people, a talented generation who have a potential to actually turn things around. I want to request you, even when there are no jobs in the economy, please, you can also have an idea that can be transformed into money, an idea that can solve a problem, an idea can transform so many things. Please come up with that idea, start molding it, come to us, come to any person. We can even link you to people and be able to monetize your idea. You can be able to start a small business. We can link you to people who can be able to help you with capital so that we can be able to start off. Don't give up at any point, please. That is what I'm requesting. And those who have suicide tendencies, that you feel like the world is crumbling, everything is over, please don't. Meet a pastor, visit your priest, visit one of the teachers around you, the head teacher, even your neighbor. Talk to them about your challenges. Talk to someone. Just open up. Don't die inside. Just open up so that we can be able to transform. The challenges are here, but they say that it's always darkest before dawn. It is darkest before dawn. The economic situation may not be as good, but we know with the rains now, in the next 1 month or two, things will look up again, and we will all be proud that Kenya is going towards the right direction. Even us as counties, we are pushing so hard to ensure that we turn things around in the fastest way possible so that things look up and our young people again can smile. Thank you very
so
much.
much. Okay,
God bless you.
Thank you so much. That has been Wesley Rotich. He is the governor for Elgeyo Marakwet County. Thank you so much for creating time to be with us this particular morning. Of course, if you've been watching this particular broadcast, I would start by thanking you. And I would just want to remind you that we are coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography is a production house based in Eldoret. Anytime you need anything that goes into video and photo production, consider working with Dawi Afrique. If you need to dress to be dressed, if you need a nice suit, if you need a nice dress, then consider walking into D Square Fashion House. D Square Fashion House is situated at the 4th floor of Ketia's building in Eldoret. The best news this particular morning is that they are also able to teach you to dress people to be addressed. What am I talking about? If you are looking for the best school of fashion design and tailoring in the region, walk into D Square. D Square makes sure that you learn to dress people to be addressed and also that you dress to be addressed. On behalf of everyone who made this particular show a success, I would just want to remind you that it is a mental health awareness month, and actually Governor has mentioned about the issue of suicide. I would just want to encourage you to be part of the solution. Anytime you feel that you are not okay, then we say that it is okay to feel not okay, but then it is not okay to maybe die by suicide. It is not okay to die inside. Kindly seek help. There are so many counselors at the moment, psychologists. Of course, Governor has also prescribed pastors and or any other person in society whom you feel can rather associate, can resonate with your problem, and somehow a problem shared is a problem have solved. Now, on behalf of everyone who made this show a success, Dawi Afrique Photography, Very Nice Media, our producer for the day, Wilbert Kim, and director Mildred, have a beautiful morning, and see you tomorrow on the Expert Tuesday.